and soon-to-be executed Maurice Chavez. Larry, are you okay? Are you alive?
Stop the bleeding. It's down there.
Do I have to? Can't you get someone else? Ay, Dios mío, she's fainted.
No. Hold it. Harder. Oh, that's so good. I need mouth to mouth. Maurice, please. I might die.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm only doing this to save your life. I don't want to.
Thanks. I'm getting cold. Quickly. It's okay to use tongues.
Get off of me! I'm happily divorced!
Shall I send him to hell, Maurice?
Yes! I mean, no! No, you psychotic lunatic! Put that gun away! Don't point it at me!
Boy, you're what, son? Do you think I'm Why? You think that's wrong, do you, son? Do you?
No, Mr. Pastor. It's all right. I think it's very right. Very right indeed. You're the boss. You're in charge. You're the king.
Damn right I am. Now, I'll tell you about morality. Morality is what I say is right, and immorality is what I say is wrong. You gotta understand this.
I do.
Oh, I'm bleeding. I need a proctologist.
Shut it. Now, next question. Ask me anything. Ask me anything you want.
Yeah, well, I'd love to, but it seems that is about all we have time for, actually. The thing is, you see, this is public radio, and every once in a while we need to appeal for money, or cut away when people start brandishing guns in the studio, like this. You're pressing issues, and in this show we discussed morality. I think we made a lot of progress and really came together. I'm Maurice Chavez. Bye. Please don't kill me.
I hope you were enjoying Pressing Issues. I certainly was.
Yes, it's almost as interesting as listening to you, Jonathan.
Wow. Thanks, Michelle. It is, isn't it? Before we let you get back to the show, I thought you'd like to know VCPR has managed to raise $30 this hour, which should keep us on the air for another 15 minutes at least.
Thankfully, due to the generosity of the people at DeLeo and Furax, the fascinating show Legal Review will still run. But now, back to the pressing issues.
Actually, before we let you get back to the show, I'd like to say something. I know that public radio may not seem very important in an era of poverty and famine and immense personal greed, but I can assure you it is. And not just because I say so. Look at the facts. 15 of the last 37 American presidents and 47 vice presidents have appeared on VCPR in the last month. 33% of all Nobel Prize winners started out in public radio. Without public radio, we would never have discovered gravity, or the pizza, or the fact that a lot of people love to hear themselves rattle. Anyway, sermon over. I hope you folks at home understand how passionate we are about public radio, and it has nothing to do with the fact I got kicked off the networks.
That was very moving, Jonathan. Back to pressing issues.
Numbingly depressed. It's great. Okay, I'm going to have to interrupt you here. And on the left, I have positive thinker extraordinaire, a man who dragged himself up from the gutter, Jeremy Robar.
Hey, the ghetto, not the gutter. I didn't live in the gutter. I lived in the ghetto. I'm a survivor, not vermin. I'm from the streets.
Okay.
Hey, I can teach you how to be a survivor, too. All of you. I can help everyone. I've got what they call a gift for communications. I can help you all realize that gift. Make something of yourself. Realize your dream. I'm like a high school counselor. I'll show you your potential. It's easy. All you have to do is follow my simple program on audio cassette or VHS.
Okay, not right now. This isn't a commercial. And if you're not going to underwrite the station, I can let you read these patent plugs. People pay for that.
Hey, everything in life is an opportunity. When I was in jail, I got the idea for my current business. And look at me now. I got offices in Vice City, Bogota, Lebanese, and Jamaica. If I can do it, I can help you make something of yourself. You could be just like me, a success.
You know. Jenny Louise Kraft.
Hi, Maurice. This is such a lovely studio.
Thanks. How are you doing?
Great. In fact, I'm fantastic. Did you see the sunrise this morning? It was gorgeous. I've been smiling all day ever since.
Okay. Now let's get with the policy of ladies first. And since you seem to be the most pleasant person here, Jenny, let's start with you. You seem like a very happy person.
Oh, I am.
Really? But why?
Well, life's great, isn't it? I mean, good things things come my way because I hold each one close because I deserve it.
I bet you wouldn't be so cheery if you had the Black Plague. Jenny's living in a fictional world. Goths like me, we see the world for what it is. Dark songs of the night, black nail polish, and very tight black jeans, man.
Like, everything is great. Well, like everything.
Constantinos, you're shaking your head.
I know, Maurice. I am.
Any particular reason?
Yeah.
What then?
There's only one thing good about life.
And what's that?
Death.
Death?
Yeah, and dying. That's good too. And black. And the moon. At least when you're dead, you can go around as an astral bastards. I wish someone would kill me. Then I could hang out in a graveyard all the time instead of just on weekends.
I know I'm really lucky to have the opportunity to learn about life. You can't control everything in life, so start a day with a smile, and you'll end a day with one.
What do you start a day with, Constantinos?
Usually with a pint of blood, it does. Then I light some candles and cry.
Okay, moving on before we're all sick.
No worries, I'm drained by you. Life is cheap, man, and then you die. You prepare for the afterlife now. You will be able to summon spirit. That's the truth of the pentagram, man.
How profound. You've obviously got a lot of important things to tell the world.
The world is a lie, man. Only darkness is truth. I am very much like Vlad Dracul, born in Sixora, 1431.
You're scaring me. I wish you would smile and be happy.
Okay, right. This isn't going that well. Look,
Hey, can I say something?
No, I'm still pissed off with you, you shoulder pad wearing shyster.
Hey! Back down, Buster, before I bust your ball. No confrontation. As they say in the movies, I'm a man of peace. I'm done killing. Work with me.
What do you want? A broken nose? Some speed in your eye? You're pushing me, man. I'm Maurice Chavez.
I know who you are. You used to be a clown. I saw you at a bar mitzvah once. You had a great act. What, did you get tired of kids kicking you in the shin? Still, you were a first-class talent.
I was?
Yes, great. But you lacked something.
I did?
Yeah, confidence, friend, confidence. You were all shot up with nerves.
I'd like to be all shot up with embalming fluid.
That can be arranged. We're talking about me, not Mr. Constantino Smith.
Yes, confidence. It's where it all begins. Positive thinking.
That nutty guy without any clothes. Yes, you're right. Positive thinking.
Exactly, friend. We're talking about you, Maurice Chavez. You couldn't cut it as a clown, but you're great, and I mean great, as a public radio host. It takes a lot of work to be uppity and self-important all the time. Every cab I go in, the guys love you.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, don't thank me, thank yourself. You've learned something, then you started something, and now you're doing it. That's what it's all about.
It is?
Yes, you thought your way to success. It's a 3-step program based on studying successful people. Like me. Or maybe learning start doing is a little too intense for you. Maybe you should just think, hold that thought, complete. I never had anyone complain about that program.
Stop that.
Hey, I engage with you, friend, and you're exchanging with me. I cover this in my second take. One is a positive action as practiced by successful people like salesmen or prostitutes, and the other is a negative action as practiced by failures like winos and judges.
What?
Stop interrupting me. You gotta open your ears and close your mouth. It's very important. I tell my old lady that all the time. I say, hey, I don't want to hear no... We open this. Doing is a whole other story, but we'll come to that. Now, all you have to do is call me right away at 866-434-SELF, and for just... to completely change the way... I mean this in a friendly way. Debating is a yes or no proposition. You need to open your mind to the maybes. We're discussing like friends, not debating like enemies. You see the difference?
Yes, I do. I think it's so much fun to be on the radio. I'd listen more, but someone stole my radio when they killed my foster family.
I hate everyone, apart from the undead. Therefore... Some dead puppies once.
Constantinos, I've noticed you have a lot of negative thinking. Why the goth lifestyle?
Well, some say life is a tea party for zombies. Also, when you only wear black, everything matches. In fact, I'll keep wearing black until something darker comes along. It's a known fact that the best poetry is written when you're horribly depressed.
Hey, listen, I wrote a haiku. Oh, the red date...
plagues of flying rodents, the seas rising up and turning yellow. It is coming. It is written by me, but you can save yourself. Contribute to the Pastor Richard Salvation Statue Fund. Pick up your telephone. Call now. 1-866-9-SAVE-ME.
Hi, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're listening to K-Chat, my city's only commercial talk station. The place where the stars shine in conversation with you and me. I'm Amy Scheckenhausen. My next guest is a rising star in the world of Norse mythology. He's appeared in several best-selling infomercials and travels the globe speaking at corporate training camps. His books and audio cassettes are sold around the world. He is Valhalla's finest deity and motivational speaker, Thor.
Hi. Hello, Amy. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long journey.
Yeah. Now, I don't know much about you. I mean, I read Beowulf. Well, I didn't, but I read the cover. But, like, you're a Viking.
It's Egyptian and represents the breath of life given in the afterworld. It's my key to eternal life after death.
Hey, why don't you carry your keys in your pocket like everyone else?
Because only that which is burned or scratched into your flesh comes with you to the afterlife.
I bet my ex-wife will be there waiting for me in the afterlife. The bitch is crazy. Hey, can you put a hex on my ex-wife? Like some kind of... voodoo. You know, dance around with a chicken voodoo. That bitch was a grass.
Why does everyone assume that just because we're goths, we're weird?
I don't know. The hood, cane, black fingernail polish may have something to do with it. When was the last time you seen the sun?
It's been over 18 years since I was out in open sunlight. I only leave the house if it's raining or if I need milk.
Exactly. Listen, I was just like you at one time, except I didn't wear makeup. That would get you a firm beating where I grew up. I'm happy to give you a sample of my... on and on for half an hour about how much it rains in Manchester. Life is what you make of it. Look at me. I got a condo, a hot tub, a lot of girls.
Listen, I've been to the other side many times. Sometimes I barely come back. It's all about astral projection. Like right now, I'm projecting myself into the woman's bathroom at the fairground.
Hey, that's a good trick. Maybe you and I should go into business together.
Ay, look, I've had enough of this love fest. You're a motivational... You guys should hate each other.
Did you say love fist? Those guys are so super.
That money right now and send it direct to me, Jonathan Freeloader, Starfish Island, Vice City. Now, back to the show with Maurice Chavez, the asshole.
You're correct. He is an asshole.
I'm Maurice Chavez. Welcome back. I used to be a performance actor. Now I'm running a debate show. Funny how things turn out, eh? Or is it? That's the question, you see. If we look upon life as a positive experience, do we make it any better? That's what we're discussing right now here on Pressing Issues. Free radio with free ideas. Just keep those donations pouring in. Don't sell out to corporations. We all need a voice. Really, we do. And today, right now, we're giving a voice to three very different people discussing positive thinking. A healthy mental attitude. We've got a goth depressive. We've got a very happy orphan. And we've got a motivational speaker with a number of systems. So let's start with you, Konstantinos, you strange, creepy... Oh, really?
Misery and suffering, it's everywhere, man. And I actively want a fatal disease. What bad can possibly happen to me?
Wouldn't in the lottery.
The lottery, that's for people with hope. I don't know for the lottery.
You could. Damn, you two, help me here.
I think he's great. I think he's really sweet. I love your hair. It reminds me of a big shaggy dog with long, greasy, straight hair.
You know, Chavez, this weird goth guy, he's got a point. I mean, in many ways, what he's talking about is covered in my 3-step program. Take... You'll never make it in the entertainment business. It's about realistic goals. I can change your life.
Just... Thoughts, depression, changing life. Who are you? What have you done that's so great? You You wear a cheap suit. Your hair is stuck rigid with spray. Your breath stinks of whiskey. You look like you sell drugs to people. You're a joke, buddy. A bad joke.
Oh, now this is getting personal. I come on your cheap-ass show. I spare my valuable time. I cancel several important speaking engagements. I talk to thousands of VIPs in order to spread a message of hope. And this is how I get treated. I get insulted by a man with dandruff. I get slandered by a guy who couldn't amuse a birthday party of 9-year-olds. I get attacked by a guy who works on a volunteer radio.
This is not volunteer radio. I earn a salary.
How much? How much do you earn, Chavez? Big man, tough guy with a microphone and a cheap jacket, and a look that says my highest hope in life is to work in a bookstore. I'm a go-getter. You're a cheapskate.
You're a fraud with nothing to tell people and no way of helping people.
Excellent. I'm really loving this. I hope one...
Bunnies are stabbing each other.
Shut up. I have a con... girls than you can imagine. And every time I step outside the door, I can choose which car to drive. If I choose to drive, I have 5 chauffeurs.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Sweep it under the carpet. That's my motto. If I can't see it, it's not there.
Look, I hate to burst your bubble here, but I know you live in a very small apartment overlooking the gasworks. You ain't a big shot. You ain't even a medium shot. You're an asshole. A creepy jailbird who doesn't know the
I have a message. I can save lives. I'm a savior, my friend. I have a gift for communication. And this is how I get treated. I get insulted, I get paired with a pair of retards, a guy who's afraid of the sun, and a girl dosed up to the eyeballs on antidepressants. Sweetheart, I can get you something much better.
These pills are very strong today. Maybe I took too much accidentally. Oh, well.
This chick is out of her mind. I thought I was going to get to help people on the radio, to demonstrate my program, to help you, Chavez. Those people on the phone said you were a desperate, lonely man on the edge.
Leave! Leave right now! Get out of my studio. Go get your own radio show. Go save some other people.
Hey, I'm not leaving till I have the opportunity to save people and sell some tapes. You could go right now and send in the money order. Soon you can have a luxury condo and a waterbed and a suit made in Singapore based on the latest Italian style.
Enough! Enough now! Shut up!
Hey, vampire boy, I'll give you $20 if you can put a hex on Chavez.
Dark forces, I summon you to me. Banish these weaklings and mental inferior ones from my presence.
Shut up!
No, you little snotty-nosed prick. What? Your shoes got lifts, Buster, I can tell.
Hey. Issues now, eh? You think you're a tough guy from the gutter now, eh, my friend? You think you can screw with me, with Maurice Chavez? What you thinking, asshole?
I'm sorry. Please don't hit me again. I love your show.
I think I understand this positive thinking. And that was pressing issues. I think we covered a lot of ground. We learned all about how to press the issue. And remember, if at first you don't get hurt, hit the guy very hard in the face with a paperweight. It just worked for me. I feel like $1 million. Let's tell you a little bit more about exactly how public radio is financing quality programs like Pressing Issues come on the air. Don't go away.
That was Pressing Issues, and this is Vice City Public Radio. We hope you're enjoying the show as much as you're about to enjoy listening to me and Jonathan Freeloader.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
Heartbroken, Michelle.
Why, Jonathan? Why?
Well, because it seems people just don't care anymore. I mean, where are people's priorities? We have campaigned tirelessly for public radio for literally months now.
Is much more important than food. I have a good mind not to let them go back into Pressing Issues this time. You have to give us some money. It's a disaster. That's what it is. What's wrong with you people? Please. We're struggling to pay for our second homes here.
And I've only had 3 vacations this year.
You poor man. Let's get on with the show. Remember, call now. Please. We need your money. Urgently.
Thanks, guys. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pressing Issues on VCPR. That's Vice City Public Radio. Radio which gives the public exactly what they want. High-quality educational programming about serious topics and... enough now. And corporate sponsors. So if you're...
I hope you like prison food. Buddy, you look a hot dish. Well, I know. Too fast,
Prestige, eh? Sitting on our panel right now, we have three divergent opinions. Three separate islands of insanity in a rolling sea of stupidity. Three wise men following very different stars. To my right, to everyone's right, in fact, we have Congressman Alex Shrub, the youngest state congressman ever to be elected by Vice City, and now a respected man in the capital. Mr. Shrub got elected because he has great hair and says things that make you nod your head. His campaign appealed to the wealthy because he set all of us at ease by finally confirming it's okay to be rich as long as you say you care about the children. Mr. Shrub, welcome.
That's not entirely true, Maurice. My campaign also appealed to the poor. Who are too stupid to understand what I'm saying. So I held up pretty pictures and I gave out candy bars to appeal to their most base instincts. Thanks, Maurice. I'm glad to be given this opportunity to set the record straight.
I haven't given you any opportunity yet, my heartless friend. Let me introduce my other guest first.
I hope this isn't going to get personal. I love Vice City more than anyone, and I can prove it.
Yes, that's coming from the man who got elected by calling his opponent a buffalo butt and a fat henpecked wimp that couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. Anyway, our next guest is from the opposite end of the political spectrum. A man so wet, he looks like he just stepped out of the shower. Peace Corps activist, hippie concert taper, founder of the group Speaking for the Underdog. He is fluent in 7 languages and studied the harp in Peru, Callum Grayshaw.
Hi, Maurice. Hola. Buenos dias and noches. Bonjour and buongiorno. Welcome and hello. Hello. Hi.
Hey, let's stick to English. Most of us struggle enough with that. Welcome to Pressing Issues. And Leslie... I cannot bring myself to express...
Missouri. I tell you what.
Yes, thank you. I expect you to listen to each other, and I will only step in where necessary so people on the air don't forget what my voice sounds like. So I want a clean fight. Nothing below the belt or in the chops. And remember Maurice's motto, which a very wise man, my father, once told me.
Suffering from anxiety, you attended group therapy for a year and considered getting a sex change. An idiot liberal felt sorry for you, and now you host your own radio show, write a newspaper column, mine's my birdcage. You've got an ex-wife and an attractive girlfriend, although she's married to your best friend, and you're on top of the world. So answer me this. Can you really say the years of living under my administration have been bad for you?
We are not talking about me. This is Pressing Issues, not Pressing Maurice.
Yes, excuse me if I may. Can we get to the part where we press the issue?
You see, that's what's wrong with this city. Liberals just want to open the floodgates, let anyone in and make you...
Hooting and carrying on. I had a plan that will save Florida from the yellow-bellied snakes that want to slither into this great state from all places north.
Oh, look. Stump-jumping Jethro is using all 3 of his brain cells to talk.
Enough! We've just started and you have proved yourself, Mr. Shrub, to be just as they said. I grant you, 1980 was not a high point in my career, but I never applied for a sex change. I was merely in an exploratory phase, and besides which, Saul the wheat-free clown was a funny act. Once voted best up-and-coming dietary restricted comic act in the whole of Vice City. I tried to take it to the Catskills, but Mount Scary Large was full. Besides, we are not talking about me. We are talking about you.
Actually, if I remember correctly, you didn't win. Mary the meat-free mime won. In fact, under legislation I am proposing, all of you vegetarians would be kicked out of Vice City. We were given canines and bicuspids for a reason, to open packages of potato chips.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I always hated that. What's funny about a woman not eating a hamburger? Or miming saving a chicken from the... And grits in the oven? You got a date with your sister, eh?
Hey, be nice, man. I just wanted to talk a little politics, and you made it all personal.
Right. Let's all stop bickering, especially you, Shrub. I've got my eye on you. Public confidence is at an all-time low. Nobody feels safe anymore. Just the other night, I saw a man running amok with a gun, shouting he needed to defend himself. Gun sales are up, book sales are down. What do you think, John F. Hickory? Please, press the issue.
All right, that's better. Sticking to the matter at hand. Well, it's quite simple, mister. Immigration is to blame. People are flooding into our state from all over America. Trash. It's quite simple. They're bringing their high-polluting, uppity, out-of-state ways and corrupting the place. Ruining it. That's why I and my organization propose we take Florida out of the Union. We start anew as our own country and ban...
Frankie says, relax, sister.
They should stop coming down my way and build redneck land or whatever. Damn redneck hicks ain't got no class. My views ain't extreme, mister. They're common sense. And what a lot of people would say if they have the guts. If you keep letting people immigrate here from all over the so-called United States, guess what? There's no more room. We'll be piled on top of each other like they are in Australia. What we're gonna do soon, build a river. A river. Florida family.
You know, you're bordering on treason. What you are saying is a very naughty thing, and only because here on pressing issues do we believe so wholeheartedly are we allowing it.
It's the truth, my friend, the damn truth. And before you start, I am not a racist. I hate everybody, irrelevant of other issues. But I especially hate Yankees, by which I mean anyone from Georgia or further north. Build your own theme parks, buy your own sun, grow your own damn mosquito-infested swamp, pal. We're gonna build ourselves a river. FBI, CIA, I don't give a damn. They can't stop us. You shrub, you yellow-bellied, pie-wearing, bribe-taking hypocrite. What have you done for Vice City up there in Washington?
Saving the city 2% or 25 cents per household over a 6-year period.
At the expense of society. Think of the little people. Poor people have no voice in this city. Every time I find a park to meditate in, someone brings in a bulldozer and builds condos. The madness must stop.
So you suggest we just stop making babies? People need a place to park their boat and trailer and to put their swimming pool. You're beginning to sound red, and by that I mean you prefer a hammer and sickle over a hamburger.
I'm not little. I'm 5'5". It's time for corporations and all of capitalism to step aside for naturalism. You're not saving this planet. You're spending it. Your credit is no...
Where am I? Nothing seems right.
You look so...
Went to Europe. I think everyone should see it for a week. You really see what's wrong with this country when you visit a European utopia. Things like a germ, public transportation, healthcare, leather shorts, mustaches. When I went to Belize, I helped some villagers clear some land for an environmentally friendly coal mine. We've all got to make some sacrifices if we're going to get anywhere. My dad gave me the money to set up an exciting trust there.
But how does that help the people in Vice City from worrying about whether they're gonna get robbed? What drives a man to just take?
What we need are more after-school sports like choir or drama so people can learn to express themselves properly by singing or pretending to be a tree. Have you...
A dipping hooch and hug.
Cool, boss.
Why would anyone want to threaten that great future? Answer me that and I'll show you a green dog.
And speaking for the Underdog, the foundation I set up with my trust fund, we believe gangs are a valid expression of a people's identity, a grouping, a community within a community. Gangs are a way to be noticed in the boxy suburbs. You scream out, rather than urinate at the edge of your camp. Inclusionary. We'd award badges to good gangs and give bad gangs a silly hat to wear. It would give people something to feel a part of. Kill with kindness, not a garden tool.
Yes, but what about the guy getting beaten up on the street? Or the man having his motorcycle stolen? What about him or her?
Some of the best bikers are really women. Anyone can join our...
Aim him with the socialist, jiggery, pokery hootenanny. America needs hope, not songs that are supposed to send food to the poor. Songs will get you nowhere. This country needs something to aim for, like being rich and laughing at poor people, or being in government and laughing at the electorate.
Now, Mr. Shrub, let's not make this personal. I appreciate your attempt to press the point, but we are here to press the issue. My city, I think we're not really providing any serious solutions. So far, we've got Socialist rearing its ugly head for the first. That's a sensible plan.
Then they wouldn't be guilty anymore.
We've been doing that for years, you idiot. How do you think we keep prison costs down? They ain't by magic or cooking the books. We save that for education. But, as in most things, we in government are saving money so that you don't have to. When we spend less money on services, more goes to administration salaries and expenses, which helps make lives a lot less difficult for everybody. It's about sharing. Sharing your taxes out amongst the select few. That's why I worked so hard at school, so I could reap the rewards now.
I thought you worked hard at school because the other kids laughed at you.
The manufacture and sale of giggle cream, a dessert with potential lethal consequences.
Not true. Only 23 people have died, and several of them probably deserved it.
So, with people being set such a bad example by big business, how are they supposed to respect each other, to act safely in society? And how are they policed by a demoralized and underfunded police force?
Well, I'm afraid that's apparently quite a difficult question, but my solution is easy. I'm going to talk for a long time about a subject not in any... Everyone knows politicians lie and steal and cheat, but at least with me in charge, you know I look good and I have a very supercilious manner. Besides which, I've been abroad and I prefer it here because I'm a man of the people. Vote Shrub. You'll get richer and you won't feel guilty.
You discovered life, baby. All right. These problems are typical of what happens with an open border to the north. The state is filling up with trash. People who can't tell the difference between a swamp and a marsh. Guys who don't know the first thing about the legality of marrying within the family. That's why we need a river. People, I'm telling you, pick up your spades, go into your garden, start digging as deep and as far as you can. Pretty soon the whole state will be flooded and ruined, and then they'll have to leave. We must build a moat to the north or they will come down and ruin this great state.
And Mr. Hickory, were you born in Florida?
What a stupid question of all the cheek.
Were you?
Of course not. No one's been born in Florida since 1877. But I've been here for 5 years, which is a very long time.
Yes, it is. A very long time. Almost as long as this show. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Pressing Issues with me, Maurice Chavez, presiding over some of the least informed debate on the radio. In the issue, we had Alex Shrub, Callum Crayshaw, and John Florida Hickory discussing safety. I guess you've all got to make up your own minds. Should we be as wet as fish or a corrupt money-grabbing thief? Gentlemen, I feel we really got somewhere, and that Vice City and people everywhere know a lot more than they did before we began. And now, over to Jonathan and Melissa to talk to you about public radio in your area.
You're listening to VCPR, the radio station for disoriented and unrealistic college professors who wear fuzzy sweaters and find everything terribly interesting.
Yes, and I'm Jonathan Freeloader. Public radio is very important.
Absolutely nothing interrupts your enjoyment of our fine programming and ability to tackle the important things like Jonathan's walk in the park. But we need you. Think of yourself as a member of this station, except you aren't allowed in the doors. That's an important metaphor for life.
Yes, how wonderful would it be to own an hour of this radio station? We just got an enormous pledge from Farewell Ranch. That's great. Farewell Ranch is a great place to take your loved one. Just dial 866-9-BURY-ME. Remember, VCPR is commercial and interest-free. Donate your money now. Let's get back to pressing issues.
Thank you, guys. So, we're back on pressing issues. Just one of many fine shows you'll hear if you have the patience to listen to public radio. Although thanks to the many awards we have won, Pressing Issues has extended playtime and is the #1 rated show in the Vice City area. I'm your very entertaining host, Maurice Chavez, a man climbing the broadcasting ladder at a rate of 6 knots. 6 years ago, I was a clown, and now I'm a success. Think about it. Imagine where I could be in 10 years. I could achieve anything. Anyway, morality. What is it? Why do we need it? Our ancestors, shortly after discovering fire, built tools to beat each other over the head and discover how to make meat to celebrate with afterwards. Then Columbus came over, shut down the Pilgrim discos. Why? All very confusing if you ask me. And you did. And I asked myself, that is a perfect subject for a region-wide discussion show, which is very lucky because I happen to host one. To discuss the subject of morality, we have firebrand preacher Pastor Richards, the head of the Pastor Richards Salvation Statue Organization, a group which plans to raise enough money to build a statue of Pastor Richards himself. We also have John Brown, leader of Moms Against Popular Culture, or MAPC. Or is it MAPS? MAP Gay? I don't know. We're deep in acronym hell right now, or is it purgatory? And finally, we have Gary Stark, author of the book As Nature Intended.
Naughty things. Maurice, if I may interrupt, I haven't worn clothes since 1982. Clothes are seriously unnatural. Didn't you guys learn anything from the 60s? I had a revelation when I was on holiday in Germany. I'd always felt very constricted. Then it hit me like a slippery fish. Clothes are plain wrong. When you're born, you're not wearing any clothes. When you die, you're not wearing any clothes.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there. What if you die at work? What if an enormous piece of machinery falls on you while you're working?
Clothes lead to immorality. Nudity stops people from fighting. Have you seen an issue of National Geographic lately? People around the world are nude. You don't want to shoot a machine gun or a howitzer or a flamethrower.
This is your final warning. This is not right, man.
City. No one's ever stolen my car.
Sailed around the Strait of Magellan and met some friendly natives that gave him supplies. Then he had to kill all of them. That's an important lesson about life. If you look at nature, you'll see many species that eat their children to protect them. This is especially true of hamsters. It's about putting the family first. That's comes from looking at history and biology and working out what's best for my kids and screw. I saw the hippies. What a load of claptrap. What's your kid gonna do at a school with a name like Moonbeam or Wave or Horseradish or whatever they call it? How can you take your kid to a Little League game when you live in a communal farm growing drugs? It's awful. And that's what my life is about. Looking down on others.
Yes, I think I can see that now. Moving on. Pastor Richards, in your book, you talk about putting yourself first and how people should not make sacrifices or help those in need. Do you want to elaborate?
Oh, that's right. People need to learn how to take care of themselves and not depend on others. If you read chapter 45 of my book, I talk about how being selfish is a virtue. The best thing you can do for someone that needs help is to tell them to help themselves. That builds moral character. Morality, Maurice. There's not
not much left in this city. Every time a culture has taken on the doctrine of helping your fellow man, we get thrown into the dark age. Look at Russia. They keep trying to help each other out, extend a hand to a neighbor, and guess what? Every 10 years, someone's invading, burning down their homes, and taking their toilet paper. Napoleon, Stalin, Attila the... all of them. After you read my book, you will understand. I may have been born in the sea, but I'm no dummy.
Are we gonna talk about being naked?
Yeah, soon, Barry. Keep your hair on and... Can the...
Lose hope in the buff. It is written, chapter 23, verse 5 of my book. He that gambles his money away is a fool, but he who believes in me will go to spend eternity in space with other affluent, well-to-do people. It's that simple. Do what I say, and you won't have to think for yourself.
Oh, but I think it is, Pastor. We look around. Nudie clubs, discos, drinking. Do people want to be moral? Can you legislate morality? Can we tell people how to live their lives?
Absolutely. Yes, of course I can. Just look at Prohibition or the Cultural Revolution in China. We can learn a lot from history. Chairman Mao or Stalin, they purged their lands of degenerates and intellectuals, the scum of the earth in my book. And look at the great societies they built. People want to be told how to act. And most people are idiots, and that's exactly who my teachings appeal to. This lawless, permissive society has no boundaries, and without boundaries, how do you know where the limits are? You have to know what's good and what's evil. You need someone to tell you so. Single moms have obese kids, it's a fact, while rich people have a lot of guilt, unnecessarily, in my opinion.
I agree. I don't think these people understand just how hard it is to potty train. You have to give a treat when Precious makes a poop. My kids are big boned, and they eat prunes every day. But that's what's wrong with this country. All of this emphasis on being thin and healthy. When my children are hungry, I hand them a spear and send them out to the park to catch their own food. They're learning how to be self-sufficient. Yesterday, my youngest, Jono, killed the postman, but at least he was trying. So I gave him a cuddle. I told him to hit Daddy next time he comes home late, smelling of cheap perfume.
Okay. It's time to take a break before we hear about any more criminal acts against government employees. You're listening to Pressing Issues. Morality is the subject at hand. Let's explain exactly how free radio without commercial breaks works. We'll be right back.
You're listening to VCPR. Finally, a radio station for teachers and librarians. You've been enjoying Pressing Issues, but as is normal, you can't listen to an hour's worth of programming on this station without us begging for money. It's the bi-daily Begathon. And postal workers, and force us to watch network programming.
That is a frightening thought. But like many things in life, you can throw money at something and feel better about yourself. VCPR is your public radio station, but you have to open your wallets.
That's right. If you pledge at the $1,000 level, you'll get tickets for In the Future There Will Be Robots at the Vice City Arts Center.
People who see that show say it's difficult to put into English. That must mean it's spectacular.
Yes, but if you don't give money to VCPR, we could be thrown back to the Stone Age. Liberals will be set on fire in the streets. Give now. Let's return to Pressing Issues. Over to you, Maurice, in the studio.
Networks. What happened there? Is it society's job to tell each other how to live? Recently, my city considered passing a public curfew that says nobody can be on the streets after 8:30 p.m. Of course, the bill didn't get passed, but it made people think. If you don't vote, you get morons in charge. Is that moral? I'm not sure. Let's press the issue.
Children should be at home with their parents naked. A curfew makes sense. You know how much money I save not having to wear trendy clothes? Read a history book. At the creation of the universe, the Big Bang, everyone was naked. Even you. Why do I have to stay behind this divider? Maurice, please.
Because nobody is interested in seeing your business. Because we have standards.
Oh, a breeze is so liberating.
Thanks very much. Now, if you could get back behind that divider, Barry, please. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Thank you. sit down. On pressing issues, we think it is very important to respect one another, to treat each other like we would like to be treated.
I want a hug. If you don't like the United States, son, why don't you move to Russia? I don't understand people in America today. They call this a Cold War, but it's hotter than hell. Mark my words, any day now you're sitting in school passing notes and talking about the prom when suddenly you look out the window and there are Russian paratroopers dropping in to take over. What can you do? Run into the woods with your friends? Call yourselves the Wolverines? Put twigs in your hair and try to beat back the Ruskies? No, you hightail it to Pastor Richard's Salvation statue and blast off into space. But there is a limited amount of space. That's why I suggest anyone who wants the safety and security of your own bunker, give now. Call 866-9...
Ruining their lives with guilt. As a matter of fact, I don't let my kids watch cartoons or slasher flicks.
Really?
That Knife After Dark movie may be #1 in the box office, but my kids certainly ain't gonna see it. If you don't raise your kids right, they end up being like New Boy over there or working in radio. I want them to get proper jobs, like being a doctor, not a patient.
That is offensive. My mother understood I was special. She made me wear a bonnet as a child, and when I demanded to go to school naked, she was fine with it. After social services moved me, she would still write to me. I still remember when she kissed me goodbye.
But Barry, earlier you said you discovered naturism, taking your clothes off, whatever it is in Germany.
I know, but I lie a lot. I've got a lot of personal issues. Look at me. Please, Maurice, I need a hug.
There's another example of immorality in this city. Public showing of affection. People think we want to see the making out and carrying on. I understand your hormones rage like a wild animal and you want to ravage one another like there's no tomorrow. But you have to ignore what your body is telling you and work for a higher calling, like construction. We're building a statue and we need your help. Call me now.
You know, pretty soon you won't be able to tell who's a human and who's an android. Why, the corporation is working on it right now. I know, I read about it. I tell my kids not to kiss other kids at school. It might be an android, suck your brains out. You must have seen the mini-series event on television. I read it in a book. We've got to stop looking at the stars, all this science fiction, and focus on the family. Now, if you really want to dance like you're on the moon, go there and leave us in peace. And that's a fact.
What's a fact?
I'm sorry, Maurice, but I have to tell you, I moved to Florida to bring my kids up the American way in a theme park. And that's just the kind of person I am, opinionated and moronic.
I see. Well, this panel is certainly interesting. The issue is morality. Recently, rock artists joined together to provide famine aid to Alaska with the song, Do They Know It's the 4th of July? Critics complain it's a
Salvations and plug.
Stop doing
Don't
that.
interrupt me, boy. Anywho, I address the Alaska issue in chapter 23 of my book. You see, the Alaskans are lunatics, plain and simple. They eat whales and snow, and they sleep in the freezer. Who wants to eat snow every day? Oh, I tried to help. I sent a helicopter with copies of my book, but they burned them in a pile for heat. If the people of Alaska choose to live there, let them. But don't everyone else's throats. That's the American way, always has been. We should send some pictures of Florida to those people in Alaska. I tell you, they'd throw down that bear pelt, saddle up the sled dogs, and get pulled all the way to Vice City. And I should know, I'm from Mars. No, you're not. Mars, Alabama. I founded 3 colleges there.
Leaving and taking out the trash. As soon as you stop, you realize what a prisoner you were to society and a twisted state of morality. People think that nudists are immoral. Well, we're not. I'm married. I love my wife. In our commune, it's so wonderful to wake up in a big bed.
Wait right there, Barry. I'm getting something through the cast. Headphones, that is. Yes? Yeah, okay. We just want to tell you a little more about public radio funding. We'll be right back after this.
Hello. I'm sure you're enjoying our high-quality programming. I'm Michelle Montanius. Jonathan, I think it's time to acknowledge the people who are sending money in to shut us up and end this dreadful Begathon.
Here's a $10 pledge from Fran in Little Havana. Wow, you think she could have given more than that?
Yes, mean bitch. I hope she dies an agonizing death.
Absolutely, Michelle. And remember, if you want us to wish you well, dig deep and dig soon.
That's right. At any moment, conservatives could vote to end our funding and place a fast food restaurant where our studios are. See, there are some people that think everything has to make money. It doesn't. That's why you should give now.
Correct. Next week is Environmental Week, sponsored by My Batsu and the Vice City Power Corporation. And next month, we're celebrating Proust's influence on Vice City in association with the Degenitron. But for now, let's return to pressing issues. Remember, VCPR is an advertising-free zone, much like the moon or Times Square.
Welcome back. This show is Pressing Issues. The subject is morality. I'm Maurice Chavez. Let's carry on pressing the issue. Now, when the Europeans... That's okay. Just try to behave. I think the sun must have got to you or something.
Yes, maybe that's it.
Maurice, if I may, you have a fine show here, and I'm glad to be on it. But everyone within the sound of my voice and smell will die in the fire.
It isn't a game show. It's a political and social debate on free radio, without adverts. And I'm still Maurice Chavez. Hi. Next up on Pressing Issues, we tackle one of the most important issues in our country today. The issue of perception. Not credit card fraud. That's deception. But we're talking about perception. How we perceive the world. These are optimistic times we're living in. A time of go-getters and doers. Our hero is the entrepreneur, the shaker and the maker. Positive thinking, we are told, is everything. Think it, and we can do it. Or can we? Let's press the issue. Personally, some days I wake up and I look out the window and I think it's great to be alive. Other days, like payday or my ex-wife's birthday, I want to hide under the pillows and cry. But that's me, a man of contradictions, as my therapist said. He was a Jungian. But whatever. I'm Maurice Chavez. And on our panel right now, we've got three very contrasting views about the issue of positive thinking. On my right, I have Gothic artist, vampire hunter, and, his words, man of the night, Konstantinos Smith. Konstantinos, hello.
Greetings, mortal. I hope this is good. I'm missing a seance to be here.
You don't sound excited to be here.
No, man. I'm mind-numbingly depressed. It's great.
In the gutter? I live in the ghetto. I'm a survivor, not vermin. I'm from the streets.
Okay.
Hey, I can teach you how to be a survivor, too. All of you. I can help everyone. I've got what they call a gift for communications. I can help you all realize that gift. Make something of yourselves. Realize your dreams. I'm like a high school counselor. I'll show you your potential. It's easy. All you have to do is follow my simple program on audio cassette or VHS.
Okay, not right now. This isn't a commercial. And if you're not going to underwrite the station, I can let you read these blatant plugs. People called upon again.
It's a 3-stage process. Learn, start, doing.
Shut up. I'm warning you. This is my show. You shut your mouth. Shut it now and keep it shut. Do not push me, you shiny suited freak. Do not push me.
Hey, you have to
plan to sell without a program, but with a beautiful message. So it says here, Vice City Civilian of the Year for 1985, Jenny Louise Kraft.
Hi, Maurice. This is such a lovely studio.
Thanks. How are you doing?
Great. In fact, you can't control everything in life. So start a day with a smile and you'll...
Sick.
No worries, I do, because I won't be constrained by you. Life is cheap, man, and then you die. If you prepare for the afterlife now, you will be able to summon spirit. That's the truth of the pentagram, man.
How profound. You've obviously got a lot of important things to tell the world.
The world is a lie, man. Only darkness is truth. I am very much like Vlad Dracul, born in Sixiora, 1431.
You're scaring me. I wish you would smile and be happy.
Okay, right. This isn't going that well. Look,
Hey, can I say something?
No. I'm still pissed off with you, you shoulder pad wearing shyster.
Hey. Back down, Buster, before I bust your balls. No confrontation. As they say in the movies, I'm a man of peace. I'm done killing. Work with me. What action as practiced by successful people like salesmen or prostitutes, and the other is a negative action as practiced by failures like winos and judges.
What?
Stop interrupting me. You gotta open your ears and close your mouth. It's very important. I tell my old lady that all the time. I say, hey, I don't want to hear no complaints. Crazy. Hey, can you put a hex on my ex-wife? Like some kind of spooky voodoo or something? I don't know. The hood, cane, black fingernail polish may have something to do with it. When's the last time you seen the sun?
It's been over 18 years since I was out in open sunlight. I only leave the house if it's raining or if I need
Don't make it any worse for
Exactly.
yourself. Listen, I was just like you at one time, except I didn't wear makeup. That would get you a firm beating where I grew up. I'm happy to give you a sample of my course, Learning Start Doing. I promise you'll run out and buy some colored clothing and listen to some music other than people droning on and on for half an hour about how much it rains in Manchester. Life is what you make it. Look at me. I got a condo, a hot tub, a lot of girls.
Listen, you're really bringing me down, which is hard to do. I've been to the other side many times. Sometimes I barely come back. It's all about astral projection. Like right now, I'm projecting myself into the women's bathroom at the fairgrounds.
Hey, that's a good trick. Maybe you and I should go into business together.
Aye, look, I've had enough of this love fest. You're a motivational gunman. And you are a maniacally depressed loony with anemia. You guys should hate each other.
Did you say love fest? Those guys are so super. Listen, I just...
Public radio.
That's Pressing Issues here on VCPR, Vice City Public Radio. If you haven't given money to VCPR and you're listening to the station, you are a thief.
That's right, Michelle. You might as well throw a brick through the window and loot the place. How selfish you people are. This is public radio, serving the public with everything that is important, like me. So come on, keep us on air. It's really important.
Send us your money. I'm going to say this over and over until you do.
Yes, Michelle is known for her Begathon tantrums. She cares about this station, unlike you. Think of how much money you spend on drive-through fast food and commemorative plates. Take that money right now and send it direct to me, Jonathan Freeloader, Starfish Island, Vice City. Now, back to the show with Maurice Chavez, the asshole.
You're correct. He is an asshole.
I'm Maurice Chavez. Welcome back. I used to be a performance clown. Now I'm running a debate show. Funny how things turn out, eh? Or is it? That's the question, you see. If we look upon life as a positive experience, do we make it any better? That's what we're discussing right now here on Pressing Issues. Free radio with free ideas. Just keep those donations pouring in. Don't sell out to corporations. We all need a voice. Really, we do. And today, right now, we're giving a voice to three very different people discussing positive things. A healthy mental attitude. We've got a goth depressive, we've got a very happy orphan, and we've got a...
WW2 Farewell Ranch, the only way to ride into the sunset.
That's the sound I love. Stop my morning, you make my night. Giggle, scream with everything, you make the light bright. Everybody laughing and getting by.
Not pressing Maurice.
Yes, excuse me, if I may. Can we get to the part where we press the issue?
You see, that's what's wrong with this city. Liberals just want to open the floodgates, let anyone in and make you, the ordinary, hard-working men and women, pay for the pleasure. Well, you have my permission to beat them with sticks. We won't prosecute. You'd be doing us all a favor. Free love, wig out, don't work, make love in the field, and listen to rock and roll or whatever you call it. Meanwhile, Crayshaw, I know your father. He's made a lot of money, which makes him a great person, but for every good conservative, they end up having some wacko commie kid just back from a vacation in the Orient who wants to share. Go take that sharing business to Cuba, Canada, or somewhere. I don't have a trust fund or a rich daddy. I know what it is to be poor, to look at the world from the other side. I slept my way to the top.
If you two would stop hooting and carrying on, I have a plan that will save Florida from the yellow-bellied snakes that want to slither into this great state from all places north.
Oh, look. Stump-jumping Jethro's using all three of his brain cells to talk.
Enough! We've just started and you have proved yourself, Mr. Shrub, to be just as they said. I grant you, 1980 was not a high point in my career, but I never applied for a sex change. I was merely in an exploratory phase, and besides which, Saul the wheat-free clown was a funny act. Once voted best up-and-coming dietary restricted comic act in the whole of Vice City. I tried to take it to the Catskills, but Mount Scary Lodge was full. Besides, we are not talking about me. We are talking about you.
Actually, if I remember correctly, you didn't win. Mary the meat-free mime won. In fact, under legislation I am proposing, all of you vegetarians would be kicked out of Vice City. We were given canines and bicuspids for a reason, to open packages of potato chips.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I always hated that bitch. What's funny about a woman not eating a hamburger? Or miming saving a chicken from the slaughterer's hands? Or her big act, I am a milk cow, a lactating machine for your breakfast cereal. How do you think a little kitty enjoyed that on his birthday? Not very much. There were tears, not laughter. I can assure you, vegetarian performance art must be stopped.
Jumping Jehoshaphat on a pogo stick. You city slickers got more issues than a newsstand. Can we talk about public safety here? I ain't got all day.
What? Is there a corn on the cob eating contest you have to get to? Get some chitlins and grits in the oven? You got a date with your sister, eh?
Hey, be nice, man. I just wanted to talk a little politics, and you made it all personal.
Right. Let's all stop bickering, especially you, Shrub. I've got my eye on you. Public confidence is at an all-time low. Nobody feels safe anymore. Just the other night, I saw a man running amok with a gun, shouting he needed to defend himself. Gun sales are up. Book sales are down. What do you think, John F. Hickory? Please, press the issue.
All right, that's better. Sticking to the matter at hand. Well, it's quite simple, mister. Immigration is to blame. People are flooding into our state from all over America. Shrub, you yellow-bellied, tie-wearing, bribe-taking hypocrite. What have you done for Vice City up there in Washington?
I've ensured important tax breaks for gun retailers, real estate developers, and I've cut the cost of policing, saving the city 2% or 25 cents per household over a 6-year period.
At the expense of society. Think of the little people. Poor people have no voice in this city. Every time I find a park to meditate in, someone brings in a bulldozer and builds condos. The madness must stop.
So you suggest we just stop making babies? People need a place to park their boat and trailer and put their swimming pool. You're beginning to sound red, and by that I mean you prefer a hammer and sickle over a hamburger.
I'm not little. I'm 5'5". It's time for corporations and all of capitalism to step aside for naturalism. You're not saving this planet. You're spending it. Your credit is no good here. We can't afford to loan you any more of our nature. Those are our trees. I only wish I could be around a little longer to enjoy it. I feel so old. Someone must take my legacy. I must train a little me.
How old are you?
I'm 23, but I feel much older and wiser. I know everything. I've seen a lot of the world.
What does the rest of the world have to tell us about how to do things? Build more trains? Have people elect their leader rather than an elite electoral college? Ride a bike to work like a girl?
You want this?
Help Vice City. The complexity of government, the hideousness of my wife, and the way her thighs grow like our national debt. Oh, sure, some people like that, but not me. It's a nightmare, my friend, and I have it thrown back at me by an ingrate like you. I could scarcely get up in the morning.
And with that outrageous revelation, let's take a quick break to tell you something very informative. You're listening to Pressing Issues on Vice City Public Radio. Over to you, Jonathan.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Jonathan Freeloader, and you're listening to VCPR. This portion of Pressing Issues is brought to you by Ammunition, a proud supporter of public radio and our community. We hope you're enjoying Pressing Issues and the way it challenges your view of society. Unfortunately, public radio in Vice City is under pressure. That's because we're better than everyone. You can't hear this kind of hard-hitting, long, drawn-out programming anywhere else. But you have to give money.
That's right, Jonathan. Money is important. It can be exchanged for goods and services, like getting a hip replacement or funding a starving child in Australia.
I feel all covered with flies right now. Call us. Pledge your money. Give 10% of your income. Can be educated on the important things we discuss on VCPR.
10% is a sunglasses, and they would run around me saying chicle, chicle, which is Espanol for pretty woman. It was very spiritual, like waves.
Absolutely. But remember, this radio station could disappear. The voice of unprofitable radio could be silenced. One day you wake up, roll over, and she's gone. You go into the kitchen, there's a note scrawl, the sound of a taxi leaving in the distance, a thunderstorm rolls in. It's a metaphor for my haircut, or this pledge drive.
Yes, the pledge drive. Become a member. Only members or people with...
Not a hope. It's simple. If you don't have a job, starve. Get out of my constituency. By force if necessary, and starve.
That is quite simple. Are you really saying that?
Of course I am. My city is a growing city. Of course, there are going to be some growing pains. Well, what I tell people is this. Gather up your life savings. Buy yourself a piece of swamp. Drain it and get rid of the damn wildlife. Then apply for planning permission. Pretty soon you could have your own retirement community or resort destination holiday place. You can start making money out of the boom, the shrub-inspired boom, and enjoy the kind of things sensible people have. Personal bodyguards, massive fences, and a bigger collection of guns than the other guy. It stands to reason.
No, 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 no. Keep them out of here. We do not want any more old folks. If there are any old people listening, go back to your homes. Florida.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about hopes, dreams, the magic of television, especially public television. Puppets can say what men cannot.
Yes, but how will that stop people taking baseball bats and pounding the living crap out of each other, as I saw in a Mother's PTA group meeting recently?
Baseball is our national sport, our national pastime. Joining together as men in order to reward the act of running around in a circle. I will thank you not to take its name in vain, Chavez.
I hate that spring training. Who do those guys think they are? Coming here and getting in the way, showing us no respect, drinking our orange juice and seducing our women folk. Training your own... 17.
Here, Maurice Chavez. I own a small one-bedroom home, a business selling flowers to people stuck in traffic. 3 or 4 radios, all turned onto BCPR. A dog, 15 ice cubes. But I don't feel safe. I'm worried about gangs.
Gangs are a myth put out by the liberal elite to patronize and demean the working man. I mean, what kind of right-minded youth from a poorer background is going to spend his time stealing things and posing in silly clothes when he could be getting ahead with a minimum wage job and making his parent proud? The dream of America is to live in a duplex and share a yard. Why would anyone want to threaten that?
To life's problems, gangs have to learn to love. To be inclusionary, we'd award badges to good gangs and give bad gangs a silly hat to wear. It would give people something to feel a part of. Kill with kindness, not a garden tool.
Yes, but what about the guy getting beaten up on the street? Or the man having his motorcycle stolen? What about him?
Or her? Some of the best bikers are really women. Anyone can join our group. This is about poor people getting together.
But your father owns half of Florida. How are you part of the shrub? Let's not make this personal. I appreciate your attempt to press the point, but we are here to press the issue. My city is in trouble, and I think we're not really providing any serious solutions. So far, we've got secessionism, rearing its ugly head for the first time in a century and a half. We've got ignore it, and we've got give everyone a flower. You're all a little unrealistic, yes?
Come on, man.
Maurice?
Not to say over-opinionated and moronic, Mr. Crayshaw, how do we stop people running amok in the city with machine guns and heavy artillery?
You've got to give a man a chance. Prisons are overflowing with wasted potential. Make the guilty men innocent once more. Free them from themselves.
How? How on earth do you do that?
Well,
Other kids laughed at you and called you a square.
That's a damn lie. They called me wet fart.
They called me the bat because my voice didn't break until I was 19.
So, Mr. Shrub, I take it you don't believe in regulation.
I believe in giving people a chance, not tying them down with lots of needless regulations. The fact is, business is run by moral people who won't do anything illegal or try to get rich quickly.
But since you got elected, I see. Characterized by a government who cut aid to the poor, offer tax breaks to the rich, and pay people to dump toxic waste near schools.
Yes.
And up on Capitol Hill, you were instrumental in pushing through a bill allowing the manufacture and sale of... So, with people being set such a bad example by big business, how are they supposed to respect each other, to act safely in society? And how are they policed by a demoralized and underfunded police force?
Well, I'm afraid that's apparently quite a difficult question, but my solution is easy. I'm going to talk for a long time about a subject not in any way related, and pretty soon people will forget all about it. I'll remind people that I have a great haircut, and that under my stewardship, Vice City has had on average 15% better weather than before, while crime rates only go up if you don't turn the graph upside down. Turn it upside down, and they have halved under me, Alex Shrub.
B.J. Smith, and you must be Mr. Bassetti. Would you like the tour?
Might as well.
Well, I'm very sad to be selling the dealership to y'all. This is my first investment after I turned pro. But now, it's time for me to move on.
You're leaving town. Not in too much of a hurry, I hope.
No, I'm just coming out of retirement and preparing for my future comeback. The business wasn't too strong, and my staff took it upon themselves to get a bit more creative with the generational wealth. Obviously, I could wind down the business before handing it over. Hell, I could burn the place down if I wanted to. This is prime development land.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about any of that. This place seems perfect.
Yeah, it does. So I take it we have a deal.
Within the family. That's why we need a river. People, I'm telling you, pick up your spades, go into your garden, start... We got problems with the street kids.
You did what?